In this video, we're going to look at the term declarative sentence. Let's start with a simple definition. A declarative sentence is a sentence that makes a statement. Here is an easy example. This apple is green. That is a statement. I am allergic to plums. That is another declarative sentence. Now, look at how the sentence ends. It ends with a full stop, or a period if you are American. This is a good telltale sign for a declarative sentence. We will talk about some other telltale signs later. So they were some simple examples. Let's do some real life ones. Here is a quotation from Napoleon Bonaparte. England is a nation of shopkeepers. And from Lenin, a lie told often enough becomes the truth. So these are statements. Notice that they both end with full stops, or periods. Now is a good time to talk about the 4 sentence types. So the one that we've just covered is a declarative sentence. And that makes a statement. So tomatoes are red. That is a statement. There are 3 other types of sentence, and we have videos and lessons on those too. For a comparison with a declarative sentence, let's look at them. We have interrogative sentence. That term just means question. So an interrogative sentence asks a question. Do you like garlic? The third type, an imperative sentence. An imperative sentence gives a command. Buy 2 oranges. You can see that that's a command. And number 4, an exclamatory sentence, expresses emotion. Now, an exclamatory sentence and a declarative sentence look quite similar, but it's the punctuation at the end that makes them different. So, I hate onions expresses the emotion hate. Notice that it ends in an exclamation mark. So, look at the punctuation at the end. We have a full stop for a declarative sentence. We have a question mark for an interrogative sentence. We have a full stop for an imperative sentence, but we have an exclamation mark for an exclamatory sentence. Let's keep going. So they were some simple examples. Let's do a few more. So here is Lenin's statement. We've seen that one. But let's look at a question. What is history but a fable agreed upon? Obviously Napoleon. Notice that it ends in a question mark. An imperative sentence gives a command. Get in your tanks. Or 4, an exclamatory sentence expresses emotion. Ouch, that hurts. Obviously Julius Caesar. Again, look at the end punctuation. A full stop or period, a question mark, a full stop and an exclamation mark. Now, with an imperative sentence, number 3, it is possible for that to end in an exclamation mark as well, if the command is forceful. So the point here is, if it ends in a full stop or a period, then you are either looking at a declarative sentence or an imperative sentence. But an imperative sentence could also end with an exclamation mark. Okay, that was enough about the 4 sentence types. Let's get back to declarative sentence and let's clear that. Here is a common word order for a declarative sentence. Now this is a simple sentence. So we have the subject-verb pairing, and then we have the object, and then we have the place, and then we have the time. So let's put up an example. The rabbits eat the carrots in the garden in the early morning. This is a simple sentence. Let's start with the subject-verb pairing. Well, the rabbits is the subject, eat is the verb. Notice the order, subject, then verb. And then we have the object. The object is the carrots. Then the place, in the garden, and then the time, in the early morning. Now, Text would be pretty boring to read if this were the order every single time. This is just a common word order. Of course, there are other word orders and there are other sentence types. For example, here is a complex sentence. It's called a complex sentence because it has two clauses, and we have a whole lesson on complex sentences. But look, before the sun rises, the rabbits eat the carrots in the garden. Well, look, here is our subject and here is our verb. And I want to just make that point. This subject-verb pairing is another telltale sign of a declarative sentence. When you have a subject-verb pairing like that, combined with full stops or periods at the end, then you are looking at a declarative sentence. Let's clear that. That is nearly everything I want to say about declarative sentences and how to spot them. The next things I want to cover are 3 common mistakes with declarative sentences. The first common mistake, and this one is really common, is do not end a declarative sentence with a comma. Let me give you an example. Do not eat me. That's an imperative sentence. Remember, it's an order. I have a wife and kids. Eat them. So a comma looks like it might be okay here, but actually it's not. I have a wife and kids. That is a declarative sentence. That should end in a full stop. So this is wrong. Here is a correction. Do not eat me. I have a wife and kids. Eat them. This is now correct. Let's do another example. Cannibals do not eat clowns. They taste funny. Now, that is 2 declarative sentences, and so it should look like 2 declarative sentences. This comma is wrong. You cannot end a declarative sentence with a comma and then write another declarative sentence. Here is a correction. This is now correct. If you want to read more about this error, it's called a run-on sentence, and you can read about that on the website, and there is a video too. Here is the second mistake that you see with declarative sentences. This one is not so common. Do not use a question mark with a declarative sentence. Now, you think you might not fall for that, but look at this. I wonder where he is. That is not a question. Where he is what is called an indirect question. And an indirect question does not always feature in a question. So I wonder where he is a statement. It's a declarative sentence. This is wrong. Here is the correction. Let's do another one. The boss wants to know where Mark has been. Again, it has the sense of a question, but it's not a question. It is a declarative sentence. Here is the correction with a full stop or a period at the end. This is now correct. Again, you can read more about this mistake in the lesson on indirect questions. The third one. This is also related to indirect questions. Use the right word order if your declarative sentence has an indirect question. So, let's put the same examples up. I wonder, where is he? Where is he is the order you would use for a question. But this is an indirect question. And an indirect question has the same word order as a declarative sentence. So this is wrong. It should be, I wonder where he is. And let's go to our other example. The boss wants to know where has been Mark. No, that would be the question word order, and so it is wrong. This is an indirect question, so we want the declarative sentence word order. The boss wants to know where Mark has been. So, with an indirect question, if the whole sentence is a statement, don't put a question mark, and use the word order for a declarative sentence. Remember, subject-verb, classic telltale sign of a declarative sentence. The second point and the third point, you can read about those in the indirect questions lesson. Okay, Let's put up a very quick summary. A declarative sentence is a sentence that makes a statement. A declarative sentence ends in a full stop, a period. And don't forget that word order, subject, verb. That is everything I want to say about declarative sentences. Thanks for watching.